Do we have any Catholics in the house?
Just a little.
Yeah.
My mother was.
So I come from a family of remedial Catholics. My mother became a Catholic to marry my father. And being the daughter of a Church of England vicar, this caused such a stir that she was disinherited. When my father gave her 3 delightful children under the age of 4, and then left her for a woman called Auntie Betty, my mother lost her new faith. But she made a promise to bring us up as Catholics, and as an honest, principled woman, this she did. Now, on the surface, my father was a pretty ordinary sort of guy. Tall, dark, handsome, Irish. Life and soul of the party, generous to a fault. Everyone loved him. He loved everyone. Alternatively, you could have said that he was a bit of a gambler. Bit of a drinker, bit of a womanizer, bit of a wanderer. A gambling, drinking, womanizing, wandering Irishman. Look it up, my mother would have said. That's the dictionary definition. And my dad was a devout one. As a Catholic, he believed that he was already saved. It really didn't matter how he behaved because there was already a place for him in heaven. He could go to Mass and confession regularly. As long as he could do that, he could blow up your car with a clear conscience. God would understand, you see. With his seat in heaven already secured, my father thought that anyone outside the faith was damned. The way he saw it, if Gandhi himself were at the pearly gates, so Peter would look at his clipboard and say, "Oh, well, Mr. Gandhi, now see from me notes here that you've been a pretty okay sort of a bloke, and I'd like to help you out, but you're not Catholic." Oh, no, I know, you've played a big part in bringing peace to the world, and we're all very grateful, but have you ever done a rosary? Did you ever go to confession? No, according to me notes here, you've not even been to bingo. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mr. Gandhi, but my hands are tied. Jeffrey George Nason, now the devil of Step aside, Mr. Gandhi. I said, step aside. Come on in and make yourself at home. Mother Teresa's pouring you a Guinness already. So, for my dad, confession was everything. And on the rare occasions we saw him, he'd say, "If you confess, God forgives." This was a very confusing concept. When my sister and I were little, my younger sister Verity and I, we would discuss this. So, you do something wrong, and then you go to a priest who disapproves of everything in the universe, and you tell him what you've done so he can humiliate and punish you. That's stupid. I know. God knows everything anyway, doesn't he? Yes, he does. He's omnipotent. He knows everything. And he created us, so he knows what we're like. Right. And he knows what we've done, and he knows why we did it, and he knows we're going to do it again. And then we go to confession, because that's what in our house, Saturday meant confession. I don't know if my mother was trying to demonstrate to my father just how a good Catholic parent was supposed to behave, but she really took her duties seriously. I went to confession so often And I knew my list of sins so well that I could get in and out of the confessional box in 2 minutes flat with a "don't do it again" and 3 Hail Marys. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was a week ago, and since then I've lied, cheated, stolen, cussed, creamed, bragged, envied, flirted, teased my sister, cheated my mother, punched my brother. I'm very sorry, I won't do it again. 3 Hail Marys? Thanks. Bye. See you next week. So, if Saturday meant confession, Sunday meant Mass. Every Sunday morning from the youngest age, St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church, my mother, my elder brother Dominic, my younger sister Verity, and me. As young teenagers, we started going to the 7 o'clock evening Mass, because like most teenagers, we couldn't get up in the morning. Well, by now, evening Mass had become rather popular, and it was so packed that when Verity and I were sitting at the front pews near the altar, Dominic couldn't see us, and Mum couldn't see us. And one day, when Verity was 15 and I was 16, we worked out that if nobody could see us, nobody would know if we were there. As long as we set out for church at 6:30 and were home by 8:30, that 2-hour stretch was ours. Now, what would interest 2 teenage girls playing hooky from church? In the 70s, early 70s, life was still quite simple. We were interested in boys and music. And where could one go on a Sunday evening in the ancient city of Winchester to find boys and music in the same place? Verity and I found ourselves in the old Vine Inn, a lively, smoky, boozy pub overlooking the grounds of Winchester Cathedral at the Dave Dingo Disco Show. Now, you mustn't misunderstand. We didn't drink alcohol, we didn't smoke cigarettes, we didn't take drugs, we just went to the pub. The rules are different in England. At 16, you are allowed to go to the pub as long as you're with a responsible person over 18. Well, loads of the old Vine regulars were friends of mine, all of them over 18. I don't know that they were particularly responsible, but I didn't care. Dave Dingo was a local celebrity who pulled in the crowds because he had very eclectic taste in music, mostly American. But more importantly, performing alongside him, he had go-go dancers! And my sister and I would sip our grapefruit juice and watch the men watching the go-go dancers. This was far more interesting to us than watching the go-go dancers themselves, who were often local townspeople we recognized. Now, my hometown of Winchester is not the sort of place where the go-go dancers take their clothes off, which is just as well, since the sight of old Mrs. Ratty from the fish in any state of undress would have curdled the most hardened stomach. But there was another thing, apart from the go-go dancers, that we loved about the Dave Dingo Disco Show, and that was the Dave Dingo Disco Quiz. And the reason Verity and I loved it so much is that we were really good at it. We loved American music, particularly Motown and soul music, so we could answer the most obscure questions, which meant that we kept winning prizes in the Dave Dingo Disco Quiz, which were really difficult to explain when we were supposed to win in church. And at first it wasn't a problem. I mean, a key ring here, a ballpoint pen there. But the more difficult the question, the bigger the prize. And some nights we won so much stuff we could barely carry it. We knew we were done for, and my sister would look at me with eyes round like saucers, and she'd say, "How are we going to get the stuff in the house without Mum seeing? You keep her talking, and I'll take the stuff upstairs. You keep her talking, I'll take the stuff upstairs. You keep her talking or there'll be trouble. You do it, Bernie. You're better at lying than I am." Actually, that was true. And a good thing too, because one evening, Mum caught us red-handed, prizes hidden behind our backs. And for a reason that I simply cannot explain, she believed me when I told her that Father Malarkey had given me for naming the Stations of the Cross a long-playing record called Rock and Roll Explosion. My sister, just for listing the books of the Old Testament, a box of King Edward cigars and a bottle of Foreign's gin. If we had been older, or perhaps a little less guilt-ridden, perhaps we would have questioned the likelihood of our mothers accepting that explanation. But we were so relieved at getting away with it, we didn't question anything at all. Well, the following Sunday at lunch, completely out of the blue, Mum suddenly announced that she would no longer attend the Catholic Church, that she was going back to her Anglican roots, and that we were all allowed to make our own choices on the subject. Verity and I were gobsmacked. Oh, what if she were angry with Father Malarkey for giving us such an appropriate gift? What if she went to the church and had a word with him? Either way, in one fell swoop, Mum destroyed any interest we had in going to the Dave Dingo History. We never went again. Many, many years later, we found out that none of us was going to the church at that time. While my sister and I were dazzling the pub with our knowledge of music, my brother was playing soccer in the park. And my mother was reading a book in the cathedral grounds, ironically in full view of the old Vine Inn.